So Barb has been exploring the depths of this terrifying secret lab, and this message popped up as we were trying to communicate with the plant. It says, "You've discovered the source of the infection plaguing Strangerville, an enormous mother plant buried in the base of the lab. The only way to get the town back to normal is to defeat the vile creature. Find a cure for the infection and assemble a team to destroy the mother plant." That's kind of crazy. We've been sitting here talking to her for a while, and she actually has developed you could almost call it a friendship. Let's see. We started off despising her. She is now an acquaintance. So I feel a little bad destroying her. I mean, she didn't want to be planted here. She just showed up here. But you know what? Barb's got to do what Barb's got to do. And she is getting hungry, and she is getting exhausted. And so we are going to have to get her out of this lab and get her back home very soon. Right now, she is going to finish trying to figure out why this plant is even here. Because, Barb's not a violent person. She's just trying to communicate with it. Hence why the mother plant is now almost a friend. So I hate to try to destroy it. We don't hate it. Look, we even have different options here. We have fight, which we can't do. Barb is too uncomfortable to communicate. Attempt to fight, taunt, and ask for fruit. So that is where we are right now. So she is going to head back up and head home and see what happens. We're going to have to get her needs taken care of. What's happening right now? Look! The mother fruit knew she was hungry and gave her, or mother plant knew she was hungry and gave her a fruit. Barb, don't eat that because you will get yourself infected. So we are going to have her head back home and take care of her needs, and then we will start our journey later this morning. Okay, so Barb came home and crashed on the bed. She threw off her hazmat suit and just fell asleep. She's so exhausted. And then meanwhile, Dale is still tending to this plant, and the sounds have gotten really creepy. Like, I don't think you can hear it because I don't know if the microphone's picking it up. I'll turn this up a little bit. I don't think you can hear it, but it's like, it just sounds eerie out, and there's this like weird like purple haze all around the city. It's getting creepy. The only good news is that Dale seems to be getting back to his good old self. He just fixed himself a drink, and he's getting in the hot tub. So we are going to go ahead. Can you hear it? It's like eerie. It's like the birds and the bugs all sound weird. It's just really weird, and there's way more atmospheric haze from all of the spores, I guess, in the air. It's stunning, first of all. Absolutely stunning. And so we're just going to go ahead and speed through this part. Oh, he does not like that beer. It is no good. So we are going to speed through this part here and pop back after Barb has had a little bit of a rest, and then she wants to, let's see, what do we want to do? We need to vaccinate 3 Sims, we need to recruit 3 Sims to help, and we need to defeat the source of the infection. So we are going to have to figure that out. So I'm going to go ahead and let her rest and then take care of her needs, and then we will get right back into it. So it seems like once you've been infected, it is highly likely for you to become possessed again. Dale was just sound asleep, and then all of a sudden his needs shot through the roof, and he started twitching out. So he is freaky deaky again. What's he going to do now? He's going to stare blankly into the fridge. Like, the interactions after you become possessed, I love how it's, like, completely random. It's so weird. He can, like, do weird things. Like, let's see what kind of things he can do. I think Barb is feeling pretty upset about all of this, and I think she is going to go back to the lab and try to figure out what she can figure out tonight. I know she's still super tired, but she has got to go back because she has got to figure out how to create a vaccine for the Sims. Let me come over here and see what she can do with him. Can she do anything with him? I think we need to... No, we're not going to even try to talk to him. We are going to put our hazmat suit on, and we are going to go back to the lab and see if we can't figure out how to make a vaccine. So we will be back in the lab shortly after we see Dale staring blankly at the fridge. This is hilarious. Like... I love it. I love that that's a random interaction that he does. Barb decided to bring Dale with her because she wants to cure him first. She is freaking out that he is being possessed by these things, so she's going to go back down into the secret lab and figure out how she can create a vaccine. Now, again, this all goes back to that elementary school education here in the Sims where they are all instantly learn how to use this high-tech scientific equipment. Let's see, it says, use the infection scanner to scan for spore clusters and nurture a bizarre plant to get bizarre fruit. So what do we need? Spore clusters and 1 bizarre fruit is what we need. So we need 5 spore clusters. So we need to go find more spore clusters. So we're going to come out here and we are going to scan for some spore clusters, and we will also nurture the plant, because if we nurture the plant, then it will give us a fruit. Maybe we can put Dale to work. He can start talking to these plants because he's obviously one with them, and he can come nurture the plants so that he can get some of these fruits going for us while Barb is collecting spores, because we need to get some vaccines going and create it for this town, and she doesn't want anyone to be infected by these things. So she is going to start collecting some of these things, and we will be back after she's collected some more fruit and more spores, as you can see, because I don't think it's really riveting to watch her just pick up the various spores and hunt for them. So we will be back after she's collected some more, and then we will try to make a vaccine. All right, Barb has managed to harvest enough fruit and enough spores to attempt to create an experimental vaccine. So she is going to try to create that vaccine here using this very high-tech lab equipment that she just learned. I guess she watched some SimsTube and learned how to do it. No, that's right. They all learn how to do this in elementary school in Simsville. So while she does that, Dale is just walking around being uber creepy. Maybe he's unpossessed now. Okay, he's definitely done being possessed now. So maybe after she gets done with the vaccine, he can come in and be like, what's going on? And she can try to use the vaccine on him, because it says here that we need to vaccinate 3 Sims, and we also need to recruit 3 Sims to help stop the source of the infection and defeat the source of the infection in order to complete this task. And like I said, while Barb isn't a violent person, she also understands she just wants to have a happy place to live where the people aren't infected by some giant creepy mother alien plant. Let's see, he's just looking at that door. So he should be heading in here soon, and then Barb will be done with this vaccine very soon. So I'm going to speed through this part here, and then we will pick it back up once she has the vaccine made. All right, so she is almost completed the vaccination process. It says Barb has successfully crafted an experimental vaccine. Test this on a possessed Sim to learn how to craft the true vaccine. All right, so he is done being possessed right now. Is there any way for him to get back into being possessed? Let's take a look. Let's see. Oh, no, he can just go home. So I guess he'd have to eat another piece of fruit in order to become possessed. So I guess we will actually head home since he is being normal again, and we will then have her head out first thing in the morning after she gets a little bit more sleep. She's been working all night long to try to figure out a vaccine. So she is going to head home shortly and try to get a little rest, and then head out and find a friend of hers, or find somebody who's infected, and see if she can't fix them. While Barb was sleeping, she got a phone call from her friend Meredith saying that something was wrong with her husband, and she didn't know what it was, but he left the house and he was walking weird and acting strange, and lo and behold, here is her husband, Ted Roswell. So we are going to come over here and try our experimental vaccine on him, because it's obvious that he is infected. But Meredith, she's kind of playing it like she doesn't know what's going on. So we're going to try this experimental vaccine on him and see if it cures him or not. Let's see. I should really get going now. Thanks for hanging out with me. What? That was it? He just left. I guess he got done being vaccinated. Oh no, I don't even think we used the vaccine yet, because this is the experimental vaccine. But here's somebody else. We will come over here and, oh no, it's Lilith Kane. I don't think we know her. We're going to test it on her. She was awoken by the phone call. Ted all of a sudden snapped out of it, I guess. So she's going to come over here and try it on this person, who I don't think we've actually met, but I love her hair. It's absolutely beautiful. Oh my gosh, she just threw it right in her face. That's hilarious. So she's only a scientist up until a point. She can use the micropipetter, she can use the centrifuge, she can use all that cool scientific equipment. But when it comes to administering a vaccine, throw it in their face. Let's see if it worked. Aw, she's crying. Do we know if it worked? It says, the vaccine seemed to cause, I think that's some poor English here. The vaccine seemed to cause some kind of reaction, but did not completely isolate the infection. Keep testing on other possessed Sims to see how this will react, or how they will react. Oh my gosh, we're going to have to go back to the lab and make more vaccines. So we will head out there after she gets a proper amount of rest. She can't do this on no rest, you guys. So she is going to run back inside. She will also send a text to Meredith saying, I just saw Ted and he was here and he was acting funny, but then he stopped acting funny and he said he was heading home. It was really weird. So she'll text her that, and then she will come in here and go to sleep. So we will be back, and then we're going back to the lab, and we are going to make a whole bunch of vaccines. So Barb spent the majority of her morning and afternoon harvesting spores, collecting more strange fruit by nurturing the plants so that she could try to create some more vaccines. So she's going to spend some time making, I don't know, maybe as many vaccines as she can, like 4 or 5 of them, and then she's going to go try to find some people to try the vaccines out on, because she just wants to get this town back to normal. She just moved here hoping to become a beautician, and now she's moved into the territory of being a scientist trying to cure and fight and attack an alien life form that has taken root underground the city that she has moved to. So this is quite the stretch for what she was hoping to do when she moved to her big yellow dream. So we shall return after she's done quite a lot of sciencing. While Barb was working on an experimental vaccine, Meredith called her and said, hey, can you come up here? Ted is not acting his normal self. So Barb called her husband and said, can you come up here and meet me up at the Roswell's house, because her husband's not acting right. So we got here, and lo and behold, there must be a higher concentration of spores in the air or something, but now Dale's acting crazy. So Meredith was freaking out because her husband was acting crazy, and so now Dale's acting crazy. So we're going to test, and we were able to create a vaccine, so we're going to test another vaccine on Dale and see if we can't figure it out, because we have got to get to the bottom of this. People cannot keep getting possessed and getting infected like this. So she is going to go over there and try it on her husband to hopefully figure out if we can get this cure for the entire town. And meanwhile, look at these plants. They're like gotten huge. All right, go try the vaccine on your husband before he goes and does something crazy. What are you doing? You're just chatting up with Meredith. All right, go try it on your husband, because I don't know what he's about to do. So we will follow her in and see what happens when we try the vaccine on him. Hopefully it actually takes effect. Let's see. It didn't let us go. Let's try it again. Okay. So she is going to splash him in the face with this experimental vaccine. Let's see what happens. Because that is as scientific as it gets. Is he getting any better? He doesn't look any better. He still looks like completely possessed. Let's see what it says. The vaccine seemed to be caused kind of reaction, but did not completely isolate the infection. Keep testing on other possessed Sims to see how it works. So we are going to go back to the lab because she was really hoping this would help. So she's going to tell Meredith, I think she might just take Meredith with her. I think she's going to grab Meredith. She's going to leave her husband here, who's obviously possessed, and we don't know what he's capable of doing. And she'll come back here. Look, there's even more possessed people over here. All right, so she's going to grab Meredith and head back to the lab and see if they can't come up with a solution to this terrible vaccine problem. So she has recruited Meredith to come and help her make some more vaccines. So she is going to show her how she was creating the experimental vaccine and see if Meredith can help her make some more so they can just save the town. So they're going to work on creating more vaccines because apparently they need to make quite a few experimental ones before they can actually figure out how to cure it. But look at all this stuff they've been researching this plant for a while. They have got all sorts of information on this plant. But the town was clueless to what was going on. And you can see over here, there's these different stages of it collected. And I think when we were deeper, I feel like there were ones that were even different colors. So this could be a pretty big problem, because if there's a mother plant, what if there's also a daddy plant? All right, so we will speed through the part of her and Meredith making some vaccines, and then hopefully in this episode get to a place where we can be testing the experimental vaccine on several Sims so we can actually figure this out. So Barb got a little bit of rest in and went and tried the experimental vaccine on one more person and was able to deduce a way to make a actual vaccine. So now she can convert her experimental vaccine and create an infection vaccine. So she is going to create those vaccines, and then we probably will have to take care of some needs. And then I think she will head out. She might push through. She might persevere. She is Oh, Meredith is wanting to come over because I bet something's up with her husband again. So we might head over there afterward. But what we need to do is we need to vaccinate 3 Sims. So I think I'm going to let her finish up creating the actual vaccines. And then the next episode, we will vaccinate 3 Sims and attempt to recruit 3 Sims to stop the source of the infection, which is the mother plant. So we shall return with another part to finish up creating our vaccinating 3 Sims, recruiting 3 Sims to help, and possibly defeat the source of the infection. So, lucky for you guys, you do not have to wait for the next episode, like in a week or so. It's already ready because you can binge watch this entire mini-series right here on the channel. Just keep watching the playlist, and you can keep on watching Barb try to correct the town that she just wants to live in. She wants to open up a beauty salon and just settle down and have, pardon the pun, grow some roots here in the town and make this her permanent home, Strangerville. Not too many people I know want to live in Strangerville, but Barb, she thinks there's a lot of charm here and she wants to make the place better. So keep on watching to see what happens.